Excellency, the Vice President, Honorable Ministers, members of the Diplomatic Corps, partners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all other protocols respectfully and duly observed. Good afternoon and welcome to the official opening of the 12th edition of the Trade Fair Gambia International and the launching of the Youth Empowerment Project, TFGI. My name is Teresa Jara. I'm the Manager for Corporate Services at the GCCI, and I will be your moderator for this event. Before we start, I would like to invite a representative of the Supreme Islamic Council, Imam Omar Jah, and a representative from the Gambia Christian Council, Reverend Rodney Louis Prom, to give the opening prayers.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim. Ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina 'adzaban nar. Rabbana la tuzigh qulubana ba'da idh hadaytana wa hab lana min ladunka rahmatan innaka antal wahhab. Allahumma inna nas'aluka ilman nafi'an wa qalban khashi'an wa amalan mutaqabbalan ya arhamar rahimin. Rabbana inna nas'aluka an la tada' lana fi maqamina hadha dhanban illa ghafartah wa la hamman illa farajtah wa la daynan illa qadaytah wa la maridan illa shafaitah wa la hajatan min hawaijid dunya laka fiha ridan wa lana fiha salah illa a'anta ala qada ya rabbal alamin. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammadin al-fatih lima ukhliq والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقدار العظيم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you, Imam. I'll now call on Reverend Rodney Louis Prom.
Almighty God, the King of creation, before you this nation stand, remembering that you are the God who calls nations, who brings up and puts down. Before you, the nation Gambia has stood the test of many times, and it has survived and prevailed. This day, we remember how this nation has struggled through many things, including them has been the exploitation of our resources, including our human resources. Mighty God, today we fight with the challenge of our young people going elsewhere to look for greener pastures. But this afternoon, we declare and launch the furtherance and the fruitfulness of this nation, even as we exhibit our various expertise and the things we have here to display. So as we launch this trade fair, we ask, oh God, that you would invoke your blessing upon us, that Gambia will become a place that is full of your fruitfulness, that in all that we do, that your blessing will lift us to another place. So for the blood that has been poured here, for the mighty exploitation that has happened here, today we speak a new dawn in this nation. A day where our young people will no longer look for the back way. Even as we launch TFGI here today, we decree your blessing upon us. And we pray for every display in this place, that it will be a launching pad, a place of inspiration. Father, a place that would invoke interest in our young people, so that our nation will develop from strength to strength, from grace to grace, and from grace to glory. So we ask in the name of Jesus that you would bless us today, and everything we do here would carry your blessing. From today onwards, we pray the God of nations to make us a blessing, even to Africa and the world at large. We thank you because we called you in the name that is above every other name, the name Jesus the Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Prom. The theme for this year's trade fair is regional business networking and youth empowerment through skills development. This year's theme was chosen in line with the government's National Development Plan efforts to empower the youth. The need to prepare, equip, and develop the capacity of youth for quality and meaningful participation in development cannot be underemphasized. The government is determined to realize its commitment to leave no youth behind, considering that the Gambia has a youthful population which serves as a great resource for development. There has been a strong momentum to promote the participation of youth and youth group in the economic development of the Gambia. Consequently, we have partnered with the Youth Empowerment Project to launch the Techifi program and campaign, a new initiative of the government of the Gambia supported by the European Union. The project would significantly scale quality job and entrepreneurship opportunities available for young Gambians. For the program today, we would have statements from the distinguished speakers, entertainment, keynote address by Her Excellency the Vice President, deputizing for His Excellency the President, Mr. Adam Barrow, cutting of the ribbon ceremony, visiting of the stalls, and finally, the Techifi project. Before we start the program, I would like us to stand and recognize the minute of silence for our past Vice President, Mr. Papali, who passed away. May his soul and the souls of all the faithful departed rest in peace. I would now like to call on the President of the Gambia Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Mohamed Jagana, to give an opening statement.
Your Excellency, Dr. Aissatou Touré, Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, Honorable Lamin Diop, our Minister for Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment, Honorable Fatou Kinte, Minister for Women's Affairs, Honorable Aminata Fabure, Minister for Agriculture, our members from the Diplomatic and the Consular Corps, all other protocols respectfully observed, my fellow board members, to our sponsors, partners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all, especially our brothers and sisters from Senegal, to the official opening of the 13th Trade Fair Gambia edition. On behalf of the board, management and staff of Kirjula, I wish to take this opportunity to thank the Gambian business community for their continued support towards the activities of the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and their contribution to our national economy and development. As we stand today, this podium was donated by the Gambia Carpenters Association, indigenous Gambians that produce this locally. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great honor and privilege to stand before you and preside over the opening ceremony of Trade Fair Gambia, and my last one for that matter. Trade Fair Gambia, organized annually by the GCCI, is the biggest exhibition event in the Gambia. Trade Fair Gambia creates the platform for youth and women entrepreneurs and general businesses to network, showcase their products and services to the public. The interest in the trade fair has grown over the years, not only from the businesses participating, but also from public institutions who have participated and benefited from the trade fair audience by sensitizing the general public about their activities. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this year, Trade Fair Gambia International has launched 450 stalls, majority of the participants being in the MSME sector. We have vendors participating from almost every West African country, and we also have international participants outside our region. Through our partnership with the Ministry of Agriculture, under the agricultural projects, farmers are supported to participate, and a vast majority of the participants are women farmers from the rural areas. Youth participation continues to increase in the trade fair, indicating a boom in youth entrepreneurship. In recognition of the growing need to support youth entrepreneurs, the Gambia Chamber of Commerce has partnered with the Youth Empowerment Project in 2017, 2018, and 2019 to create a youth pavilion. which is a branded pavilion of stalls dedicated to youths. And we have the honor today to launch TFGI Gambia today with support of the European Union. This year, we are hosting over 45 youth entrepreneurs under the Youth Pavilion, and 75% are youth women entrepreneurs. We are the Chamber of Women Entrepreneurs and Youths. Through our partnership with the Ministry of Trade and Industry, our line ministry, and GAIPA, more MSMEs are sponsors to participate during the trade fair. Over the years, we have seen a huge growth in the number of attendants, and this year, we are expecting to welcome over 50,000 people from all demographics through the gates. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, during my 2 terms as president, with support of my board, the management and staff of GCCI have transformed and repositioned Kirjula. Thus, the efforts have started yielding fruits. We hope that the benefits will strengthen more indigenous Gambians to participate in the key sectors of the economy, to create jobs, create wealth, expand the government tax base so the government can deliver its social services to the public. It is with great pleasure I formally announce that we are working with our partners through the government of the Gambia to start construction of a world-class trade fair site at the National Trade Fair Center in Bursubi. Your Excellency, I want to take this opportunity to thank the government of the Gambia through Honorable Bailamin Job and his ministry and Ambassador Jena Bajang for facilitating this trade fair facility project in Bursubi. Through our partnership with Ministry of Finance, Economic Affairs, we have witnessed the installation of brand new trade fair tents, which we got through the ADB project, Inclusive Growth, Promotion, and Institutional Support Project. Through this project, GCCI procured 300 state-of-the-art tents used in international trade fairs. Through the project also, GCCI has been supported in commissioning a 109 kilowatt solar system to be used at the GCCI head office and the trade fair site to promote use of renewable energy amongst the private sector and promote a greener and more environmental friendly business environment. The GCCI, being the representative body of the private sector, will continue to advocate for the interests of the business community to create an enabling environment for businesses to flourish so that we can have more of our youths stay in the Gambia, create their dreams in the Gambia, and live their lives in the Gambia rather than taking the back way. As my presidency at the Chamber comes to an end, I am proud of the many achievements my board and myself have made over the past 6 years. During our 2 terms, we have hired more young professionals to respond to the growing needs of the business community. We are also proud to say that the majority of the employees of the GCCI are women. Over 50% of the senior management are women, and women are well represented in our board. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, under my presidency, with the support of Mr. Aliu Seka, a very young dynamic youth man, and his team at Kirjula, we also led the revival of the National Business Council, formerly the National Economic Council, to engage government at the level of the executive to discuss issues affecting the private sector and how we can create an enabling environment for businesses to flourish. For any business to survive, the saying goes that you need an engine, but the engine also needs a viable engine oil, and the engine oil lubrication can only come from the government. So, Madam Vice President, we want to make ease of doing business a priority in this country, and with your support and the government support, we'll get there. As I hand over the baton of leadership at the GCCI, I am very optimistic of what the future holds for the GCCI. The Secretariat, with the team, are seasoned private sector development experts, and with his support and the hard-working young professionals filled with passion to make Gambia amongst the best countries to do business in Africa. The GCCI will continue to be a voice for women businesses We will continue to be a voice for youth entrepreneurs. We will continue to be a voice for startups and all sectors and demographics in this country. I thank you all, and God bless the Gambia.
Thank you, President. I would like to now call the Program Manager for the National Youth Council, Mr. Alaji Jaju, to make a statement.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, Honorable Ministers here present, National Assembly members, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, and all other protocols duly and respectfully observed. My role this afternoon is not necessarily to make a statement, but to introduce to you a young female entrepreneur in the name of Hata Boy, whom we want this evening to come and speak on behalf of our young people that are day in, day out into business. She's a young entrepreneur, a female for that matter, and of course a student of the Gambia College. But notwithstanding, she is equally into her own business and of course a farmer. But before allowing her to come in, let me, on behalf of young people of this country, thank the government of the Gambia, through you, of course, the Vice President, to the President, for creating the enabling environment for young people to thrive in this country. 4 or 5 years ago, it was a common scene for families to mourn the death of loved ones either in the Sahara Desert or in the Mediterranean. It was a common scene. It was either you were directly affected or indirectly. But 4 or 5 years ago, this was a very common scene. Either on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis, families mourn the death of loved ones in the Sahara Desert or in the Mediterranean. Madam Vice President, today, hardly do we hear these stories. For our young ones have this conviction in them that the enabling environment has been created by this new government, and we are more than willing to take a fee in our country, that is making it here in our country. It is no longer a story of Tuki Mba take a fee. The story is simple: take a fee, making it here in this country. We would also want to thank the EU for providing the necessary resources for the implementation of the TFGI, and of course the partners, including the ITC through YEP, GIZ, Enabel, and IMVF. As a council, we will definitely promise these partners that we will provide for you all the support that you need. We have the necessary structures on the ground to reach every young person in this country through our regional youth committees, the district youth committees, and the over 200 youth organizations that are registered with the council. These are avenues that, if used by these projects, we are certain that those that it is intended for will surely be reached. Madam Vice President, a lot has been provided for us, but certainly we want to ask for more through you. We wrote to your office some time back that we wanted to have the Gambia Youth Chamber of Commerce to represent young people in the Business Council that our able president just mentioned. We know, yes, businesses are represented, but we want the Youth Chamber of Commerce to represent the youth voice at the National Business Council. If we are not too young to lead, we strongly believe we are not too young to represent ourselves. So we really want to represent ourselves in the National Business Council. Madam Vice President, local councils with the support of GAMWORKS are constructing markets. We want our young ones to have access to these markets. Much at times we will say, give them the markets and they will hire them out. If they are struggling to get stalls to sell, I see no reason why, if given these tools, they will hire them out. They will certainly use them to their benefits. At this juncture, once again, let me thank the Turkey Free Project for providing this platform, and of course supporting a youth pavilion where we have several young people that are out there showcasing their products and their services. But the environment is not only enough that is providing them the environment to sell, but it is important that we are able to patronize made in the Gambia. And this will have to be for government to take the lead, and other partners will certainly follow. On this note, Madam Vice President, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity, and we will now perhaps, through the chairperson, invite Hata Boy to talk on behalf of young people that are in the business. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Jadu. We'll now call on Ms. Hata Boy to make her statement. She's a young farmer from the Central River region.
Distinguished guests and my fellow Gambians, good evening to you all. My name is Hata Boy, young commercial farmer in the Gambia, a native of Boyram village in Lower Floodwest District, Central River region. My mother's name is Awajan, one of the biggest rice grower or rice cultivator in the Gambia, in Sierra South. The name of my business is called Hata's Farm. It is owned and managed by myself with the support of my mom and the help of my sister, Mam Inchaboy. My business is located in my village, which is farming that includes the growing of rice, groundnut, beans, and kush. In 2016, I started my business as a rice cultivator, in which I cultivated 2 hectares of rice. I later expanded my business in 2017 to 3.5 hectares of rice, which was 3.5 hectares of land, which was 2 hectares of rice and 1 hectare of groundnut. With the output of 81 bags of rice and 19 bags of groundnut, which I later market and buy shida, donkey, and land to make my farming activities easier. I expanded my business in 2018. I got a support from an organization called Gambia, that means Global Youth Innovation Network, which was given to me. The award was $25,000 to invest in my business. Is what I did exactly. In my business, which was a great opportunity that I got from Gambia as a support. In expanding my business, I thank Gambia, bravo to Gambia for giving me the support and the opportunity to develop my business or expand my business. I later use the money to buy fertilizer, pay plowing for my farm, and buy machines. However, I'm grateful to Allah as a beginner who started with 2 hectares of land and now having 5.5 hectares of land, which is owned and managed by myself. In my business, I'm facing lots of challenges. The challenges that I face are as follows. Inadequate store to keep my products. What I mean by inadequate store, like before, when I was starting my business, I was having only 2 hectares of land, and that one I was able to get 3 tons, and that one was 150 bags of rice. But now I'm able to get 5 hectares of rice, 5 hectares of land, which I do my farming activities. So I'm facing the biggest problem when it's come about this thing, where to keep my products. Because store is a problem. Even when the Gambia people, Jainawa and others, when they came there, they see the challenges that I'm facing. My groundnut is there, my rice is there, but I don't have a store to keep it. I'm keeping them in a local store, and that way it's not safe. If fire comes, it can easily burn it. I also have problems like lack of machines like tractor, power, mini machine, and threshing machine. I'm urging from the organization or the government, if they can provide the use of the Gambia, these machines, they can make it here in the Gambia. I'm also facing lack of marketing problem. Because normally what I do is, if I grow my products, if I harvest them, I normally take them to this place, Brikama Lumo. I follow this Lumo, Brikama Ba, Saraboyo, Yorofla. I even go to someone just to market my products. If there is an opportunity like trade fair, youth will have access to it, is what I'm seeing. Let us make the best use of this opportunity. This opportunity is for us. Let us make it right here in the Gambia. I'm also feeling lack of animal labor. What I mean by animal labor, when I was starting my business, I'm having only one donkey. And that donkey cannot do all those farming activities. Even if I'm not tired, let me tell you one thing about me. I'm a lady who can defeat 1,000 men. I believe one man can do, woman can do more than that. I wish I see these TFGI people at my place, this TFGI project or campaign at my place during the rainy season. They will ask themselves, is this the real Hathaway that we know, or is a fake one? My objectives are expand my business by 2022 in 20 hectares of land, where I will employ other youths or involve them in farming activities. To have a big store at my village where I will keep not only my products but the villagers' products as well. To minimize the illegal migration of youths of the Gambia by involving them in farming activities, more especially the people of Sierra. Because I believe only Boyran alone, we have 64 hectares of rice, talk less of Jahli Pata. So only Sierra alone can serve the Gambia with rice. We can give them rice. And we stop eating this imported rice from foreign countries. We don't know how long has been made. I will also minimize the illegal migration of youth by involving them in farming activities. Like weeders, some will be involved in other activities, and some will be like farm owners. What I want to hear is my story. Before completing my story, I want my story to inspire other youth in the Gambia. TFGI as a project or campaign is a new initiative of a government of the Gambia supported by the European Union. My own recommendation about TFGI is TFGI should not even stop at campaigning, but sensitizing the youth about what TFGI is and the kind of business available or the kind of supports are available in the Gambia. We make the best use of it. We will not sit and fold our hands, waiting for this company or waiting for this organization or telling ourselves that let us wait for the government for them to help us with this money or something like that. When I was venturing into business, I was inspired by my mom, who is no other person but our child. I'm always proud of her. She made me who I am today. Here in the Gambia, we have the biggest opportunity. TFGI should not only stop in campaigning, but training youths how to run a business, because we have different kinds of business categories in the Gambia. Like we have agribusiness, agro-business, business idea, service provided, packaging, products and labeling in the Gambia. Youth, let us make sure that we engage ourselves in this kind of business or activities. Because what I believe is, me at my village, Boyram, you will never go to a compound and find people eating this American rice or something else. You will never meet them eating this oil, which are imported from outside country. We grow what we eat and eat what we grow. If we have support from the organization or from the government, I think we will make the Gambia to be in a better life. To make it, my own mission is to make agriculture affordable, sustainable, and profitable, and we can make it. TFGI is an organization that is very good. That one, TFGI is derived from a word of this one, language. That means you take a fini. We make it here in the Gambia. Gambia is our homeland. Let us be proud of Gambia. Let us be proud of Gambia and make things possible here in the Gambia. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hattaboy, for that inspiring speech. I'd like to now call on His Excellency, the Ambassador Attila of the European Union, Ambassador to the Gambia, to make his statement.
Your Excellency, the Vice President, honorable ministers present here today, members of the Diplomatic Corps, heads of institutions, senior government representatives. Let me also single out the National Youth Council Director, President of the Gambia Chamber of Commerce, and certainly my partners heavily involved to make the TFGI come true. From EU family, the Belgian, German, Portuguese partners, as well as from the UN family, the International Trade Center, UNCDF, and IOM. And last but not least, representatives from civil society, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols duly observed. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon to you all. After a fantastic nationwide roadshow, which has swept through the country, organizing sessions on entrepreneurship, showcasing solar installations, construction, creative industries, agrobusiness, and many more, the government of the Gambia is thrilled to officially launch today the TFGI Make It in the Gambia program. And we, at the European Union, are proud, once again, to stand by the Gambia's side. What a better place to launch the TFGI project cannot be a better place than the annual Gambia International Trade Fair. The aims of the trade fair and the aims of the TFGI align perfectly. In the Gambia, your homeland, you strive and work. In the Gambia, you can succeed. TFGI must be more than just a motto. It must be a reality. This is why in the Gambia, the European Union massively invests in technical and vocational training, in helping entrepreneurs in developing their businesses to reach new heights of success. This is to ensure that the youth will get the skills and tools they need to make their professional projects in the Gambia come true. The large youth pavilion here today is supported by the Youth Empowerment Project, the famous YEP, launched in February 2017, funded by the European Union and carried out by the International Trade Center. I want to recognize the great job my partners in the YEP are doing. Today you can meet 45 young Gambian entrepreneurs trained through YEP, working in the areas of agribusiness, food and catering, fashion, crafts, beauty and lifestyle. They are all here today showcasing their products, proudly showcasing their products. Other groups supported by YEP are also here today, such as the Earth Builders Association, young people working in road construction, satellite and CCTV installers, laptop and mobile phone repairers. Since its launch, the Youth Empowerment Project has supported more than 2,000 youth, enhanced capacities of 6 training institutions, and assisted more than 400 micro, small, and medium enterprises. YEP is already doing a lot. And I would like to thank the historical partners of the YEP: Ministry of Trade, Ministry of Youth and Sport, National Youth Council, Gambian Chamber of Commerce, and many more. Indeed, YEP is already doing a lot, but more can be done and more needs to be done. Hence today, our European partners from Germany, the GIZ, the German Technical Cooperation Agency, from Belgium, ENABEL, the Belgian Development Agency, from Portugal, IMVF, one of the main NGOs of Portuguese cooperation, they joined forces to implement a new and ambitious program. Make it in the Gambia, TECIFI. The TECIFI program is a 3-year program that aims to improve economic development and future prospects for young Gambians. Our renewed promise of assistance with this program of 23 million euros, that is more than $1.2 billion, will be implemented by ITC, GIZ, IMVF and ENABEL under the overall leadership of the Gambian government. The hopes and expectations of the youth, including the returnees, should not be disappointed. More than ever, we need to create entry-level jobs for young people. Both the government in its National Development Plan and the European Union, as a firm partner of the country, recognize youth empowerment and employment as a strategic priority. In its national strategy, the government is committed to leave no youth behind. Let wisdom guide our actions in recognizing youth as engines of growth and as an essential pillar for development on our path towards the common good of the Gambia. Now, concretely, what will Make It in the Gambia deliver? ENABEL and IMVF will work jointly to promote job creation, mainly in the agricultural sector. Agriculture, as we all know, is a key driver of development all over the world, including West Africa. ENABEL and IMVF will create employment and boost salaries along agricultural value chains, such as vegetable, rice, and poultry. The objective is to make agribusiness attractive to young people by applying climate-smart and market-oriented practices that will increase quality local products. Agribusiness can be a vibrant economic sector that allows people to excel in their communities. From production to processing and trade, over 1,000 agribusinesses will be reinforced and 200 rural youth will be trained on job skills. ENABEL and IMVF will also rebuild rural infrastructure, including access to water, storage, rural roads, processing units, and protective fencing for market gardens. All under the motto, train the youth to do more, do better, and do so skillfully. These Belgian and Portuguese partners are also seeking to improve the quality of life of young people in rural areas. They will support community organizations to provide meaningful activities to the community through sports. Sport channels our energy and brings out the best in us for ourselves and our communities so that we may live in unity and peace. 1,000 young people will benefit from improved sport facilities in rural areas. GIZ, our German partner, will provide training courses on entrepreneurship. GIZ will work closely with selected training centers such as Insight Training Center, GTTI, President's International Award, and Chigamba Skill Training Center. All in all, 3,600 young people will be trained through these actions. Renewable energies will be given a focus. 2 solar centers, Tikunda in Mandika or Kernach in Wolof, will be set up in the lower and upper river regions and will showcase how activities based on solar energy can provide an income. And finally, under this new initiative, Make It in the Gambia, ITC and YEP are expected to expand and fast-track support to young Gambians focusing on two sectors with high potential in terms of job creation. One is the tourism sector and the other is creative industries. The project will strengthen skills related to the hospitality sector, particularly focusing on the content and quality of the training material of the Gambian Tourism Hospitality Institute, bringing the number of young entrepreneurs to receive support to 4,400. The new activities will also include a mentorship program focusing specifically on women to boost the competitiveness of women entrepreneurs. We want to ensure that women and girls participate fully in all aspects of our projects, as without them, we will never achieve the freedom and peace we aspire to each day. With this TFGI project, the European Union wishes to work together to further join our diverse peoples to prove man's brotherhood. We pledge our firm allegiance to the development of this country. As a last word, let me quote a beautiful line from the Bansang Youth Center, and I quote, "It is not only about building the future for our youth, but also about better preparing the youth for a future here." Until then, I thank you for your attention, and I remain to the Gambia ever true.
Thank you, Ambassador. I would now like to call on Honorable Lamin Job of the Ministry of Industry, Regional Integration and Employment. Honorable Minister.
Your Excellency, Dr. Aissatou Touré, Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, my honorable colleague ministers here present, Honorable Fatou Kinte, Minister for Women Affairs, Children and Social Welfare, Honorable Aminata Fabure, Minister for Agriculture, Honorable National Assembly members here present, President and CEO of the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, board members of the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Ambassador of the European Union to the Gambia, His Excellency Attila Laius, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, senior government officials here present, national and international partners to the trade fair, invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all other protocols duly and respectfully observed. Let me first of all thank the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry for once again organizing the 13th edition of the Trade Fair Gambia International. The Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment sees the annual trade fair as an important networking platform to both local and foreign participants. I therefore want to welcome you all to this year's edition of the trade fair and the launch of the TFGI project. The fair puts emphasis on regional business networking, youth empowerment through skills training. Let me start with the regional business networking. On the 21st of March 2018, 44 heads of state and government of the 55 AU member states signed the agreement to establish African Continental Free Trade Area. The Gambia is one of them. Last Monday, on 1st April, our National Assembly ratified the agreement. It was a historic day for the continent.